Helldivers is super awesome. Tons of explosions, killing bugs spreads democracy. It all makes sense to me. But what doesn't make sense is wasting your currency on very bad upgrades. So I want to go in depth with you what you should get and what you should avoid. And I really want to start with what you should avoid first because the list is small. So let's get that out of the way. The first gun you should avoid is the stalwart just because it doesn't do anything better. The machine gun is better than this. If you have a problem with recoil, just crouch. It'll fix the problem. Giant explosions are really cool, but the orbital 380 is not good. Here's why. It covers an enormous area and it fires down randomly. Got this? I did it one time and I literally killed my entire team and they were very angry at me. I know dying's part of the game, but this you should avoid. I'm not too sure in what scenario you would be using this just because it's too random, it's too wide, and in this game you really need to be focused on your target, but it is fun to use, and if your team doesn't care, have at it. The jump pack is next, and I just think this is a waste of your money because yeah, it gives you tons of mobility, but it's easy to loop the enemy, so there's really no point. We should have a jump button in this game, I feel, and we just don't, and maybe it's because they wanted to push the jump pack on you. I think you should avoid this. It's just a waste of your money. Go spend it on something else. The Eagle Smoke Strike is pointless. Yeah, it keeps the enemies from firing at you, but you could just bombard them with something else. The smoke screen hurts both you, your team, and the enemy when you could just drop something on them and just destroy them. Avoid the smoke. Avoid anything with smoke. It's terrible. The orbital EMS and the orbital smoke, I think you should avoid. One, the EMS stuns your enemy. Now, if you can stun the enemy and then have a teammate just drop something on them and wipe them, that's fine. But as you play the game, you're going to get very good at timing the enemy's location. And you might as well just drop something on them anyways, whether it's your napalm or your strikes or nukes or whatever you got. So the EMS really is pointless. And again, like I said, there's orbital smoke, which hurts everybody and is also pointless. So avoid both of those. Let's get into the good stuff of what you should get your very first buy. The grenade launcher. The grenade launcher is outstanding. It hurts heavily armored, it can clear waves, but most importantly, you can walk up to like the hive locations where all like the bugs and stuff come out and you can just get rid of it. Now you need to position carefully and shoot that grenade directly inside, but at that point it's cleared. So one person can go clear an entire hive by themselves on one magazine. This should be your first buy. I want to say all of the gun sentries I think are good, but it really depends on your team. If you just have a teammate who's throwing them down, you're going to kill yourself or get your teammates killed. That really sucks. The mortar sentry is really good, maybe the best one, but again, you're just in the zone, the bugs or your enemies are really close to you, and the mortar is going to drop them literally on top of you. Now, I think all of these are good picks. Even the guard dog, I don't really like it. I think I would have a better chance with just a sentry going down, but the guard dog is okay and probably a better choice for solo players. I think if you are doing solo, honestly, you have to get the grenade launcher and basically pick almost all the sentries to help you get through the game, especially on harder difficulty. Now, going back to the top of this list, I want to show you that the machine gun is probably the best second weapon after the grenade launcher, and this is simply because when you change the firing rate for the machine gun, you put down a lot of ammo very quickly, so it's great for bursting down almost all of the enemies. Even the crusher, if you can get behind it, you can do a lot of damage. If you don't know how to do it, you hold down the reload button and then a second function will pop up and you can change fire rate. And a lot of weapons have a different thing you can do with them, and they all have a flashlight. I don't really understand the flashlight, but hey, now you know what you can do with it. Now, the anti-tank makes the list simply because it can take out the crushers and the really bigger targets much easier. The grenade launcher does a lob, but this does a straight on hit, which is much easier to shoot, especially if you have a huge mob of things. It also kills some of the other bugs in just one shot, like the big green ones or the AT-AT Star Wars looking walker robot thingamabobs. I don't know what they're really called, but it's having the right tool for the job. So going into your mission, make sure you know what you're getting into. At the harder difficulties, I still think the grenade launcher is better, but this does serve its purpose when you need it. Now, I enjoy the flamethrower a lot. I do a complete napalm fire loadout for everything because I like the dot damage because everything has to crawl through it. I will say the flamethrower should not be your first pick or your second pick, maybe your third pick. And that's because in the wrong hands, you are going to kill the team. It's really good for when you have to funnel enemies. When this game launched, they let everybody use the railgun, and it is the best gun in the game to put for your loadout. It one-shots everything, even the big, like, I don't really want to call them super bosses, but they're giant enemies and bugs and robots. So when you can get this at level 20, this should be your pick. Just don't charge it too much because you will explode yourself. You've been warned. The orbital walking barrage makes my list, but only in key scenarios where I think I'm really going to need it. If I can funnel enemies in certain areas, or if I think I'm that good and I know my team will stay away from me when I use it. I don't think really any of the orbitals are all that great except for the very last one, and that's, I mean, the highest level you can get, and it's going to take a long time, and few people probably have that at this moment. I'm going to save you a whole lot of time. I think all the eagles are good, except for obviously the smoke one. We get an upgrade later on that I'm going to show you, which is going to make the eagles basically not really have a cooldown, and it's fantastic. They fit every situation. They have stuff for armor. It has stuff for just clears. They go in a row. They go left to right. They have everything. So honestly, skip the orbital and just use the eagles. Now, they might change the orbital or add some more stuff later on with DLC or a free patch or upgrades or something, but I think the eagles need to be in your list of things to get. You could take the whole list, and I think you will be very well off for any situation that you're going to do easy to the hardest difficulty. Now, what you want to spend your green currency on and all those other special currencies when you go to ship modules is you want the donation access license. That's your first one, because that gives you more magazines for all your rail guns, your machine guns, your laser cannons. More ammo means you don't need to burn resupply. It's going to be huge for you. It's going to literally change the game for you in the best way. The second thing you want to pick is the liquid ventilation cockpit. This reduces the cooldown time for all your eagles by 50%. That means majority of your time running missions, you are always going to have the eagle up. They're not on a high cooldown already, but having that 50% up, let's say you take 2 eagle stripes, whatever you want, you're always going to have 1 up. This is huge when you start doing the harder difficulties and your whole team is there and you're throwing napalm and missiles and barrages and strifes. It's great. It's absolutely worth to take this as soon as possible. The last thing I want to go over is the battle pass. That is not a battle pass. I love the fact we don't have to worry about microtransactions. I think the best way to go about this is the premium. It has the better guns. It has better everything. Now you can go back and get a few different guns here and there to help you and maybe some cosmetics. But honestly, I say you dump all that currency in game and you just go straight for the premium because all of their guns are the best. Pretty much just driving the premium the whole way. And that's how I'm getting this whole napalm fire build. Now I make pretty much D&D content exclusively. I did Baldur's Gate and I'm kind of venturing out. So if you guys made it this far, please like, sub, help me out. It's free and I really want to venture out and start making maybe tips or other guide videos. But if you're looking to play a D&D, I do that too. If you're looking to learn, hey, I'm here for you. So I'll see you next time, guys. Sorry for the rant and have a good day. Bye.